biker gang F's around and finds out in Reacher Episode 4 sneak peek. Exclusive. As reported yesterday, Prime Video's Reacher has been crowned the top series of 2023 on the streaming platform, and with good reason. Audiences adore Alan Ritchson's portrayal of the lone wolf vigilante. The show's second season has been universally acclaimed by critics, and audiences are loving the big guy being back on their screens. The Lighter is thrilled to partner with Prime Video to bring our readers an exclusive sneak peek at the fourth episode of the series, A Night at the Symphony, as the series steamrolls its way to a violent conclusion. And here's the good news, it's already been renewed for a third season. The clip features Reacher and his crew having attempted to infiltrate a formal event, being confronted by a gang of bikers, and let's be honest, folks, we know what's about to happen to the bikers. You mess with those turkey-sized fists, you're not gonna have much to be thankful for. The clip is sure to delight the massive increased audience on Prime Video, which is already up 50% on last year's viewership. In our review of the series, Collider's Nate Richer gave the series a 9/10 and hailed it as the creme de la creme of dad TV, adding that it wasn't even a guilty pleasure, but just good television, and who could disagree? Ritchson is perfect as Reacher, and it delivers in every way imaginable. What is Reacher Season 2 about? The second season of the series is based on the novel Bad Luck and Trouble. Bad Luck and Trouble is the 11th book in Lee Child's Jack Reacher series. The novel revolves around themes of loyalty, revenge, and justice, and it showcases Reacher's analytical mind and utterly preposterous yet delightful physical stature and prowess. It sees Reacher roaming the country by himself as usual, receiving a cryptic message from a former member of his team, the 110th MP Special Investigations Unit, leading the squad to the conclusion that they are being hunted and taken out one by one. Ritchson reprises his role as Jack Reacher, joined by Maria Sten, Serinda Swan, and Sean Sipos, who portrayed key characters in the 110th MP Special Investigations Unit. Ferdinand Kingsley is also part of the season's cast, playing an assassin labeled a ghost by Homeland Security, with Robert Patrick on board as the head of security at a private defense firm with a very dodgy history, and Dominic Lombardozzi as a grizzled NYPD detective who's on the trail of Reacher and his buddies, as well as the bigger picture. In the world of Reacher, you quickly learn one crucial lesson. Don't mess with Jack Reacher unless you have a death wish. The former military policeman turned drifter doesn't seek trouble, but when it comes knocking on his door, he answers with devastating force. And if the latest sneak peek from Reacher Episode 4 is any indication, the trouble that finds him in this episode comes in the form of a reckless biker gang that's about to regret crossing paths with the wrong man. In true Reacher fashion, this episode promises to serve up a brutal dose of justice, leaving the bikers to discover the hard way that they've severely underestimated their target. For those unfamiliar with the Amazon Prime series, Reacher is based on the popular books by Lee Child, following the adventures of Jack Reacher, a former MP investigator who roams from town to town, living off the grid. He's a nomad by choice, someone who's always just passing through, but wherever he goes, trouble seems to follow. His towering presence and stoic demeanor give off a sense of calm, but just beneath that surface is a man capable of explosive violence when provoked. And when Episode 4 drops, Reacher fans will once again get to see the man in action, and the unfortunate recipients of his fury are a group of bikers who have no idea what they're in for. The calm before the storm, the sneak peek starts innocently enough, with Reacher walking into a diner on the outskirts of a sleepy town. Anyone familiar with the series knows that the scene is too quiet, a harbinger of the storm that's about to break. Reacher sits at the counter, casually ordering coffee. He blends in effortlessly, looking like a man who just wants a moment's peace. The other patrons seem oblivious to the tension building, but the audience knows what's coming. After all, Reacher has an uncanny ability to attract trouble, even when he's minding his own business. Enter the biker gang. The scene cuts to the growl of motorcycles as they pull into the diner's parking lot. Their arrival feels like a slow-moving train wreck, one you can't look away from. The leader, a burly man covered in tattoos and a leather vest that screams, "I run this town," swaggers into the diner, followed by his equally intimidating crew. They immediately size up Reacher, sensing a challenge. These bikers are used to bullying their way through life, and Reacher, seated calmly with his back to the door, presents what they assume is an easy target. But anyone who knows Reacher's history knows that this is a mistake, a big one. The tension in the air is palpable. The gang doesn't recognize Reacher, and why would they? To them, he's just another drifter, a loner passing through their territory. What they don't realize is that Reacher thrives in situations like this. He's seen it all before. These guys are amateurs in comparison to the trained killers and professional criminals he's taken down in his past. But they're about to learn that the hard way. Escalating tensions, the scene unfolds slowly, building tension like a ticking time bomb. The gang leader approaches Reacher, taunting him, testing the waters. He makes a few snide comments, trying to goad Reacher into a response. Reacher doesn't bite. His silence speaks volumes. It's not that he's scared, it's that he's assessing the situation, calculating the fastest way to neutralize the threat if things turn violent. And things are about to get very violent. At this point, the audience is on the edge of their seats, knowing that it's only a matter of time before the situation explodes. One of the gang members makes the mistake of laying a hand on Reacher, and that's when everything shifts. With lightning-fast reflexes, Reacher grabs the man's wrist and twists, sending him crashing to the floor. The diner falls into chaos as the rest of the bikers spring into action, but they're no match for Reacher's military-honed skills. What follows is a masterclass in hand-to-hand combat. Reacher systematically dismantles the entire gang in a brutal display of strength and precision. He's not just fighting to win, he's fighting to end the confrontation as quickly as possible. Every move he makes is efficient, calculated to disable his opponents with maximum impact and minimal effort. In the space of a few minutes, the gang is reduced to a pile of bruised and broken bodies, and Reacher barely has a scratch on him. The aftermath, the sneak peek, doesn't give away too much about the fallout from this fight, but it's clear that the bikers have effed around and found out in the worst possible way. They're left groaning on the diner floor, their egos shattered along with their bones. Reacher, meanwhile, remains as calm and collected as ever. He quietly returns to his coffee, as if nothing out of the ordinary has happened. For him, this is just another day, another group of fools who thought they could push him around, only to learn that he's a force of nature they were wholly unprepared for. But even in victory, there's a sense that this confrontation is only the beginning. The biker gang's leader, although defeated, doesn't look like the kind of man to back down easily. There's a lingering tension in the air, suggesting that the gang might come back for more, possibly with greater numbers or firepower. And if that happens, they're in for a rude awakening. Reacher isn't the type to run from a fight, and if the bikers want a war, they'll get one. But the audience knows that the odds are stacked heavily in Reacher's favor, because no matter how many men they send, Reacher will be ready. What this scene reveals about Reacher, this sneak peek, serves as a perfect encapsulation of what makes Jack Reacher such a compelling character. He's a man of few words, someone who doesn't seek violence but won't hesitate to use it when necessary. There's an almost zen-like quality to his approach. He doesn't get rattled, even when facing overwhelming odds. He's confident in his abilities, but it's not arrogance. It's the quiet assurance of someone who's seen enough combat to know exactly what he's capable of. And that's what makes him so dangerous.